All right, I'm here with Clay Ashworth. Clay,
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, man. I just got a couple questions for you. And forgive me, because I'm going off my phone. If I had better memory, I'd just go off the top of my head. But anyway, here we are. So, yeah, this bike is awesome, dude. Thanks for showing it to me and kind of what you've done with it. I've seen you ride it, and you definitely ride the crap out of this thing. And yeah, he's let me ride it a time or two, and I can definitely say it's a nice bike. But Clay, what first pulled you into desert racing?
So I started riding when I was 3 years old, but I hadn't raced until I was 6. I just did a few races out at OCA, and my family enjoyed watching me ride and stuff. That was a good time. But it wasn't until I was, 65s or so that we actually got into it, and we really liked the more relaxed nature of desert riding and the people compared to the motocrossers. Not to say that the motocrossers are bad, but just the people in desert racing are so easy to talk to. I mean, like meeting you, I was instantly friends with you just because, I know what we go through on the course. It's like a shared experience, whereas a motocross, it's a little bit different. I feel like there's a inherent competition factor. It could just be me, but I really enjoy the people of desert racing.
Well, when we first met, we were actually racing the same class.
Yes.
In fact.
Yeah, so I started in Open B. Well, I'm doing Open B now, but I was almost always amateur rider. Like I said, I'm an aspiring expert rider. Hopefully this is one of the last years as a yellow plate holder, but we'll see if we can get that win this year.
What would you say is harder out here desert racing? The physical grind or the mental game?
So mental is something I've been putting off. I haven't actually given much thought into it at all until this year. Visualizing yourself as winning and getting through this long course, I can take up towards 5-6 hours if you're really struggling. There's a huge mental aspect to it. Being cognitive of what you're doing and not getting hazy and letting yourself just get too relaxed. But as someone that doesn't train every single day, the physical portion has been hard too. It's just unrealistic to say I can go ride every day.
Well, and these desert races are long. For those that don't know or haven't done it, they can be, at least in the amateur class, it's taken me, 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
That's a minimum for me.
Yeah.
For most races.
At least. So
yeah.
they can, and they're between 80 and 100 miles.
Yeah.
In a hare and hound, something like that. So.
I think the shortest one we've got is 70 as a hare and hound. The GP races are a bit different. I personally don't like those at all as far as my results go. But fun factor, they're awesome.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Fun factor, that's my favorite.
Yeah, yep.
So,
if they were an hour and a half, 2 hours longer, I would actually do good.
Yeah, little leg up on the competition there. Because those moto guys, they're used to that sprint pace.
Yeah, they can just push it, give everything they have, and I'm really jealous of that. Yeah. I always have a little bit more gas in the tank at the end of those GP races, like this Preston one we just did last year. I did 2 classes in a row, and I did much better in my second race.
Because you got that warm-up in.
And I was tired after the first race. It was an hour straight, and I was pushing hard as I could because that was the one for points, and I just go do this next one for fun, and I did awesome.
So how do you decide at these longer desert races when to push and when to go into like energy conservation?
Yeah. Well, the start is pretty much everything because dust is such a big factor at almost every race. And it's much easier to pass people when they're right next to you. The first 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's all out. No energy conservation for me. That'll pay itself back tenfold later on when you're trying to pass people. It's just so much easier to do it at the start. Fortunately, this thing starts up pretty good. It's not blue, so you can always rely on it.
That's always my problem.
when to go in energy conservation mode, I guess once you get seated in a pretty good position, 10, 15 minutes afterwards, so you just ride through the dust and make it through. That first few minutes, you just got to go balls to the wall and give it everything you got.
What is the most important part of your desert setup here on your bike? What would you say?
If I had to only have one thing, it'd be bibs. I threw way too many races on tubes. I have a buddy, he threw 3 races last year because he didn't have bibs. I mean, that's 3 races worth of points.
And I've been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they're expensive, but so is racing. It's kind of a no-brainer in my mind. It's just part of the deal.
When I was first getting into desert racing, I was looking online and like on YouTube for all the info I could get because I didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. I started in 2023, so it hasn't been very long for me, and I just didn't have the experience. So I thought a video like this could potentially help somebody that is interested in trying this out.
Get up to speed.
Yeah, get them up to speed. Tell me about the sketchiest moment you've ever had desert racing.
I was making a pass. It was dusty. It was sketchy, but it was towards the end of the race, and I really wanted it. I was going around the trail to make a pass, and all of a sudden the ground dropped off beneath me. I couldn't see where I was going. I didn't know, but 5, 6 feet later, I landed, and it was on a incline about this steep, and just instincts kicked in when I was in the air just to throttle as much as I could. Unfortunately, that leveled the bike out enough to make it through, but I hit my chin pretty good. I had a bloody nose for a little bit and just rode through it. But
oh man,
that's the most recent one that comes to mind. I've had plenty of sketchy experiences, broken, I think, 6 bones doing this. It's been, I think, 7 years since my last broken one, and that's really nice. But
nice, good streak.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah, it seems like for me, anytime that things get real sketchy is when you're either making a pass or you're going off the main trail by a few feet. And sometimes, there's a lot of bushes out here. You can't really see that kind of stuff.
That's just part of the deal. I mean, if you want to place well, you've got to be willing to take those risks. And it's even more incentive to get a good start. You don't have to take those risks, I guess, to make those passes.
Clay, what mistake taught you the biggest lesson as a racer, would you say?
Probably not giving it all in the first 5, 15 minutes. Work on that sprint speed. I'm terrible at it. I get so fatigued after, 20, 30 minutes, and I lose half the ground I made.
That's part of the reason we're out here today.
Yes,
to do some sprint
sprints.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. What advice would you give someone racing for the first time?
Do one of the shorter races. Tape your hands because there's going to be blisters. I've been riding forever and I still get blisters. I don't know if there's much you need to do, but I guess just take it easy. I've got a buddy that's just doing it for fun, and that's just it. Do it for fun. Don't go out there and expect to win. It's a marked trail that you don't have to pull up your phone and get directions for all the time. Just have fun.
Have fun. I love it. Do you need to have a race bike, or can you just run what you have?
If you got an orange bike, you got a race bike.
Yeah, love it. You don't need to mod it so much.
You don't need to mod. I went over earlier how much I've modded this. It's pretty extensive, and I'll tell you on stuff that I do want to mod it. The list goes on. I would say no, you don't need a race bike and a practice bike for this. That's kind of the beauty of desert racing, assuming you don't have a track-specific bike with super stiff suspension. I think you can do just fine on an XCW, an XC, right out of the box. An FX, I mean, you could suffer through any of the races on almost any bike.
Good. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your time and just talking to me about your experience and your plans. He's trying to win the Open B class this year.
Trying.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
So he's got the skill. But guys, if you see him out there or myself at the races, don't hesitate to say hi and ask us questions. That's one thing you'll find about the desert community. I mean, the amount of times I've rolled into the pits halfway through the race with like a problem, it seems like 10 guys are coming over to try to help you out. So
I haven't heard of a motocross race with a sportsmanship award. Desert has it.
Facts.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Okay, Clay, appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, there we go. We got it.
Sweet.
That was my first time hosting an interview.
Good job.
Okay, we'll cut that.